Okay, so, one second. So, I'll give a little bit of context for what I'm doing. Uh, Wait, seriously? It still has to install? What did I just download, by the way? Seriously? This better not take long. If this takes long, what did I spend like 30 minutes downloading? I would actually go insane. Okay, it looks like it's going fairly quick. So I'll give context as to what I'm doing. So this is a game called Elion, I believe. Elion, yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it. So I'm playing Elion today, and I'm playing Elion because, one second. Let's see. That is blackout. That is blacked out. Okay. One second. Let's boom, 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 boom. Okay. Delete that. Okay, window. No, that's not gonna work. So Elion is a MMO that's had a really interesting production. It's a Korean MMO, which I think are usually okay, in my opinion. But Elion is a Korean MMO, and when it first came out, wait, is there seriously maintenance going on right now? It's a Korean MMO. Whenever it first came out, it was quite different from the way that it is now. That it's gotten a proper like Western release. When it first came out, it was actually like tab targeting combat, and it got pretty panned. I'm not sure why exactly it got panned, but the developers, which was pretty bold, they actually took it to heart, and they actually made some changes actually. And one of those changes was actually adding action combat as opposed to tab targeting. At least that is what I think they've done. So this is a action game, and it was done by developers of both PUBG and Terra, according to some of the trailers that I've seen for it online. Not sure what to think about the whole PUBG fact, but Terra, I think Terra was a pretty competent action RPG, and it's pretty nostalgic for me because it's just what I grew up playing. It was arguably my first MMO, really. So I'm really curious to see how this turned out, and it's also published by Kakao Games, who published Black Desert, or did they publish Black Desert? Or did they develop Black Desert? I don't recall. I know for a fact that they're the publisher because the game was recently just like totally sold to them. Yeah, they are the publisher. I think. But yeah, so now I have to apparently like install this now, which is weird because I literally just spent like 30 minutes. Yeah, I spent like 30 minutes having to download this, and now I have to, do that for some reason. That's really bizarre. Hopefully it's not super long. It's at 42% right now. I find that very annoying though. It looks like all I did was actually download their like game launcher, I guess, is what I did. It really should not have taken that long. I'm not sure what to make of that really. But yeah, 45% on the download. Yeah. I'll join a VC. Hmm. This is extremely annoying. Why do I have to download this again? Well, I don't have to download it again. It's just, yeah, this is really annoying. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah.
MMO, huh? Is that the one that I just got advertised about? The
If it's called Elion, the answer is yes.
yeah, yeah.
It's interesting because it's being developed by some people that worked on both PUBG and Terra, and
Yeah. Oh.
and whenever it first came out in Korea, it was actually different. It was actually like it was originally a like tap targeting game, but when it came out, I gathered that it was either A, just not very popular, or B, was not really liked. Um, so the devs sort of took this to heart and they just sort of like did it again, and now it has like action combat, sort of like Terra did, and it is being
Oh.
published by the same uh, publishers that did Black Desert, and people have been comparing the combat in that game to the combat in this game. Uh, so, I don't know. I'm not sure why it's getting heat. Well, I can sort of assume why, because it's probably a very uh, grindy, pay to win Korean RPG, but it's only been out for a couple of days, so to see the the sort of the sort of dislike for it come so early is really weird because usually
Yeah.
I hear shit about Korean games maybe a couple of months after they've come out because then people realize like holy shit, in game it's just nothing but DLC.
Hmm. I'm like, I don't have any sort of good uh like opinion about this, just because the one time I saw the trailer, which is literally today, I was the entire time thinking, wow, this game is probably super fucking mid. Like, this does not interest me at all. Nothing about this is like actually like fun or interesting. It was just like a trailer of a guy with a mace and a shield, like fighting, and then there's this girl with elf ears who shoots people and they like die, and then they fight, and that's literally the trailer. And I'm like, wow, that's so cool.
Yeah,
I just, God, it's so mid.
I don't think
That
there
just
is
screams
such thing
mediocre.
as a good MMO trailer. I think that they all look bad. Even the best, like, Final Fantasy ones, literally the only reason why people are attached to them is because they already played the game. Same with, like,
Hmm.
WoW. Um, but, like, I do follow new MMOs and I do try to sort of track when they come out so I can try them, even though I just assume I'm going to hate them. This one completely escaped me. I I had no idea that this was even a thing, but I don't know. I grew up playing Terra. Terra's okay. I think they sort of killed it with the later updates, but I don't know. It's definitely not good, and I'm more interested in one called Lost Ark, which closed beta is in November, and I have a key for it, so I'm just looking forward to playing that one.
Mhm.
And I spent like 30 minutes installing this game through Steam, only to open the little Elion game launcher, and then learn that I have to apparently install it again.
That is such an MMO thing to do on Steam, especially. I swear that happens on every single Steam game now. This happened when me and Garden were trying to install Warface. We installed it after like 30 minutes. We opened it and it was like, okay, this is going to take 7 hours now. It drives me insane. What is the point of installing anything if you're just going to install like a fucking launcher to install a game? Just install the game. Ah,
It took
how do you
like
do it?
it took like 25 to like 30 minutes, so I just sort of assumed that it was the full
Yeah, the
game.
game. I the fact that it could be 20 minutes for a launcher is like concerning to me. What are they feeding that launcher? Why is it so chunky?
It's at 53%. This is so weird. Like, I'm just going to delete it like an hour from now, presumably. But, like, I still want to try it because I don't know. That's my thing. I try every single fucking one that comes out and then delete it like hours later. It's so difficult to have a action combat game that doesn't feel like Dynasty Warriors, where you're doing these cataclysmic fucking AoEs that knock all of your enemies up.
Yeah, that like is that? Are you talking? This sounds like you're about to go off on Tales of Arise.
Uh,
I
I
have heard the gameplay is good. From what I've seen, the gameplay looks interesting. My only thing is that I've also heard the story is dog shit.
do people play Tales of games for the story?
I don't know. I imagine everyone there's always like one guy who plays uh, games that are like focused on gameplay for the story. I feel like it happens with every single demographic. There's like a minority of like 10%, but for some reason, apparently, it's egregious enough that people are like, "Holy shit!" It's enough they feel like urged to talk about it, even when it doesn't really matter.
Hmm. The download inside of the launcher is taking so much more time than the like thing.
God.
see if I can uninstall some games to make the process better.
Oh my God. I want to put something in shit post. Whatever. I'll just put it in.
I've seen that clip. That clip is extremely popular.
Oh my God. I just saw it. I had no idea it was a thing.
Well, it's not a good suicide story if he lived.
I was like, oh my God. The face the other guy made is so good.
He makes like a fucking
Pog face.
like PogChamp basically.
Yeah, yeah. He goes to full O. Oh. It got me especially because I haven't heard the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme in a while.
I'm starting to become convinced this game is just a fucking virus.
You just open the fucking the game up and you're like, oh, that's weird. I have like 9,999 currency, and it says thank you for your purchase history. Just like takes your credit card information and buys a million gems with it.
Yeah, my computer is being so slow right now. I'm trying to like uninstall Apex and Phantasy Star Online, and they are both just not fully uninstalling.
I mean, you are streaming.
Oh yeah.
Streaming does kind of tax your computer.
Mm-hmm.